Back in about 2016, I think it was, I spent some time in Munich, and I came back after 3 months to Jelsa. It was a beautiful December afternoon. I went down for a drink at late mornings, I usually did every day, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said to me, "Do you notice anything different about the Christmas decorations that had just gone up?" And I looked around and I said, "Not really." And she said, "Have a look at those decorations and tell me what you see." And I looked, and between the entrance to the square, there were some decorations across the thing. And I said, "I see Christmas decorations." And she said, "What about in the middle, the star? What do you see?" And I said, I see a star." "What kind of star?" And I said, "A 5-pointed star." And she said, "Do you not see a subliminal message to try and overthrow the state from the communist regime?" And I said, "No, all I see is a star." So I went home, and I was a bit confused by this. And then the next day I came down, and she said, "There's a rumor." I said, "What's the rumor?" "The rumor is that people are so upset by this star that they're actually going to remove the star and replace it with the Star of David." And I was like, this is a Christmas decoration. How crazy can this get? And so the next day I came down, and I was a bit later on my own, and I noticed these two guys with a ladder. They were loitering around, looking a bit uncomfortable, and the square was packed. It was a beautiful day in late December, as it often is. And slowly everybody left the square, and they were obviously waiting for everyone to leave. And it got to the stage where I was the only person left. And so then they got to work. I was looking at the church, had a beer, beautiful sunny day, alone with my thoughts. And after like 2 or 3 minutes, I looked around and I was shocked. And there were these two guys, one of them supporting the other, and they were on this ladder and they were removing this star. So I thought this would be quite interesting to photograph, so I photographed it. And then they replaced it with this Star of Bethlehem. And I went over to them and I said, "Sorry to bother you," in Croatian, "I'm just very curious. Is this a Christmas tradition that you sometimes change the stars?" He just said to me in Croatian, "Ovdje mi ne slavimo communism." Like, here we do not celebrate communism. And then he walked off, and I thought, what a beautiful title. And so I had these photographs, and I sent them to my friend Matija Babic, who's the owner of Index. He sent me a 4-letter response, like "Sweet Mother of Jesus." Within 40 minutes, it was the #1 news story in Croatia. It was the first time I've ever experienced the news going viral in Croatia, and I was the center of it. And all the comments were very, very, very partisan, as they always are in Croatia, some supporting, some against. But people wouldn't stop talking about it, and people were very threatening. And I was really worried about what will happen tomorrow when I go out for my drink, or shall I even go, And so I decided that I couldn't evade the music for forever, so I decided to go down. I'll never forget this. I walked onto the square, and everything was very, very partisan on the square. And then Andra Tomic, who's a very famous winemaker in Jelsa, a lovely old guy, actually my first neighbor, stood up and walked over to me and said, "Čestitam, congratulations for writing about this." And so then I sat down, and I was going to order a beer, and I noticed something really, really, really interesting. 5 or 6 locals were drinking Heineken, which is very, very unusual. But on the bottle of a Heineken, you have this label, and it has this red star. These were people that were drinking out of solidarity. Heineken had this fantastic advert in the UK back in the 1980s, which is one of the most iconic of my generation. And it was, "Heineken refreshes parts of the body other beers cannot reach." I was wearing a red t-shirt at the time, and I had a Heineken, and I asked a friend of mine to take a picture of me in the middle of the square with the star behind me. And so we created a meme saying, "Heineken reaches the stars other beers cannot reach." And we put that as my Facebook profile. But then it got really, really weird, because then the mayor called me. He was in a panic because he had all these national media calling him for comments and asking him about his favorite Christmas decorations and everything else. And he was on the way back from our town to manage the crisis, and he was supposed to pick up the bacala, the dried cod, on the way back. Because every year in Croatia they have this lovely event where they give this bacala, this cod, at Christmas time. They give free portions out to the pensioners and so on. And in the panic, the mayor forgot to pick up the bacala. So actually the bacala that year was kind of ruined because of this crisis with the star. The mayor asked me to write a PR thing for him, so I did. So that went out to the national media. So here I was, like, now justifying the non-political nature of Christmas decorations in Jelsa. And the story just wouldn't go away. Eventually the mayor said to me, "I've made a decision. I don't want to give in to the people that say this is a communist star. I also want to respect people that were offended by the communist star. So I think we should have both stars up together. And I said, Mr. Mayor, it's your decision. My personal opinion is it's not a great move, because if you do that, some journalists, not me of course, but some journalists will come out with a wonderful headline that the Mayor of Jelsa officially launches the first 2-star destination in Croatia. And what did he do? He put up both stars. The story went on and on and on, and in the carnival a few months later, where they always have this politically satirical sketch against the mayor, it was all about the star. There was a massive 5-pointed star on the piazza when I got down there, which people then put over my head. I was a caricature in the carnival, and I'm forever branded as being 5-star communist sympathizer just because I pointed out this Christmas decoration thing. This is the nature of life in a small Dalmatian town, where the politics override everything, even today. A simple thing like putting up a Christmas decoration can cause a national debate. Crazy.